Okay, well, this is day 2 of me being pretty sick with sinus infection or something. I don't know. Throw Barbarian, a video about the Throw Barbarian. 87, fun character. Um, Pretty easy Barbarian to make its way through normal and Nightmare mode, actually, despite not having, like, great gear. But kind of hard in Hell mode. Check this thing out, though. This thing is nuts. 266 enhanced damage. Lifesteal, Mana Steel, IAS. Dude, some nutso throwing weapons here. But rare weapons kind of, they fall off a little bit. Because what you really want is a Lacerator, and then a War Shrike. Actually, I don't have a War Shrike, which is a bit of a shame. And my build would be significantly better if I did. But let me hop into the skills first. So Bash. I wanted one in leap attack, so I spent the skills for it, but you definitely don't need it. You're gonna max out double swing probably before anything else because double throw doesn't actually give you more damage, so it just gives you more attack rating. So I do have a number of points into double throw for that attack rating. I wish I had more even, to be honest with you, but I decided to spend some points elsewhere, and I put a couple points into frenzy. Maybe just one or two. Um, just because I was doing the numbers at one point, and if you frenzy something and then you throw again, it gives you a faster attack speed. I just killed Eldritch, but let me see if I can show you. So throw speed, frenzy shit, new throw speed, yeah, faster. So that's pretty cool. And I think I needed at least like a level 6 or 7 frenzy, so that's why I put like just one or so more points into it. War cries, of course, every barbarian's gonna max out bow and have 1 point into battle command. If you wanted the utility of putting some points into howl or taunt, I say feel free. I have not. Masteries, max out throw mastery. I just wanted an even 25% one run walk speed from increased speed, and then enough natural resistance to get 75 of fire and lightning, probably. 1 point into Axe Mastery does help with the Frenzy attack rating with your Lacerator, or if you had points in Berserk, it would help with that as well. I don't. And then I have some points left over, and then that's where you can either dump it into double throw for more attack rating, frenzy for more melee damage, and a faster attack speed. You get continuously faster attack speeds. Like I think if I put like 17 points into frenzy, I could reach the highest break point, but it's not worth it. I actually dumped the rest of my points into shout because I actually found that at least without the without the war shrike, I just have an upped death bit. Death bit, super easy to find, kind of a dinky little thing. Really not that good, but it is the best weapon I think that I have kind of available to me right now. Uh, all right, let me talk about the death bit, then I'll get back to shout. Death bit. Okay, so when you're looking at the weapons, you want something that has replenished quantity because I found a number of cool things. I found the Balrog spears. I found Gimmer shreds. And then I've got a number of these like sweet, rare, high damage javelins. This thing's not too bad either. But if they don't have replenished quantity, then they cost a fuck ton to repair. And if they have a really low original quantity, like this thing, only 80 as opposed to like 180 on the Lacerator, then you have to go to town so often it's not even fucking worth it to play the game. So the death bit has I think a max of 200 as well as replenished quantity. So even though it's not that great, it's not that bad either. I mean, 40% deadly strike is pretty good. It definitely helps your damage. But the War Strike is much better in two significant ways. It has roughly between 50 to 80 more enhanced damage than the Death Bit. It also has a 50% chance to pierce. So I have a 33 or 30% chance to pierce from the Razor Tail, but my ability to deal with crowds will get a lot better if I get a War Shrike. And I hope I get a War Shrike someday. Razor Tail, kind of a necessary part of this build, just to have that pierce again. So, you know, need that. Lacerator, also pretty necessary. I'd like to try the build with 2 War Shrikes, just to see how that goes, because I will say, as good as the Lacerator is, it can get kind of annoying that it causes monsters to flee 50% of the time it hits, so that can get a little frustrating, especially against physical immune monsters, because you can also see it's got the 33% chance to cast level 3 amplified damage. That's super good. And that's your primary way of dealing with physical immune monsters. But the chance to flee will override the amplified damage proc. So that's kind of a bummer. But yeah, Lacerator's super good. Open wounds, pretty good damage, prevent monster heal, replenish quantity. It's pretty much just what you need. But let me talk about Shout again. So I went for Shout because I actually felt like I was having a hard time like sustaining myself in battle. You know, if I don't have to use potions, I prefer that I just have enough like life and mana leech and other resource management on my gear and my build. And I felt like I was just taking too much damage. So how do we stop taking damage? Why not just boost my defense a decent amount? And that kind of went hand in hand when I decided I wanted to use and make a Prudence rune word, which I'm super stoked about, because I've wanted to make a Prudence rune word for a really long time. Malrune was the first high rune I ever found, and I found like 3 in a row. And I just never found a 2-socket ethereal armor, or when I tried to e-bug them in the cube, it just took me a really long time to get a 3-socket armor instead of a 4-socket, or a 2-socket armor, I mean. But this thing's dope. So, I mean, I tried a bunch of different things for a while. I don't think I have any in the stash, but I tried like a Nauseous, I tried a Viper, I tried a Duress, Treachery, and the Prudence was super useful because it just has a little bit of everything. You know, the Duress was nice for the crushing blow, the Viper was nice for the skills and resistances, but and also the Viper was nice because it had magic damage reduced. But this thing is better because it not only has magic damage reduced, it's also got faster hit recovery and insane defense, along with pretty good resistances as well. And that's the reason I didn't use the Duress. The resistances were just not good enough. So FHR helps a lot. Resistances helps a lot. Magic damage reduced helps a lot. It helps me just like deal with souls and, you know, the council members' hydras way better. And the defense, so, you know, I've got magic damage reduced, and then the defense, when I, you know, now that I have 12 points into Shout, I have 13,000 defense. You know, the average chance for, like, a mob in Act 5 to hit me is, like, 25 to 30%. Like, that's so sick. My Merc, by the way, this is one of the sickest Mercs I've got, using a Stone rune word, has 17,000 defense. Holy shit. So he's pretty dope. I'll just cover him real quick. Stone, really just for that defense. And then, because I would usually use a Tretch, but since I wanted to have like a super fast weapon, so I happen to have an Ethereal Viper Fork that I found, which has like a super fast base speed along with 50 IAS. So even though it doesn't do the most damage, I just put an Omrune in it and figured, like, that would be pretty good. And then G-Face with an IAS Jewel in it just, like, kind of tops it off, helps him hit a new breakpoint, gives him Crushing Blow. Because I don't have a lot of Crushing Blow on this character. I only have Gores, actually, for that. So giving him a G-Face, along with a super fast attack speed, definitely helps against bosses. But, you know, he's pretty hard to kill. He's got almost 4k life. He's got decent enough damage. So I'm happy with this guy. He's he's kind of a badass. But yeah, back to my gear. So upped Gores, just for the extra defense there, along with you know, the run, walk speed, the crushing blow, the deadly strike, the open wounds, classic. It's all classic. And I know that some people say like War Travs are better. Um, I just wanted to have some amount of crushing blow on this character, and you know, War Travs might give you slightly more damage, but the crushing blow, especially for bosses, it's noticeable. You want that, so that's why I'm going for Gores. Laying of Hands, kind of obvious. Increased attack speed, fire res, damage to demons. They're so good. You know, it's a little boring, but a classic choice, and I'm happy with it. For a while I did try like Lava Gout gauntlets, you know, for the enchant proc actually. It gives you a little extra fire damage and about 1,000 or so more attack rating. It's got me up to 10k, I believe, on both my weapons. I also tried using crafted gloves as well as um, other crafted gloves, blood gloves and the knockback gloves. I actually had to craft like a million of these things to get a pair that had 20 IAS on them. It was just insane, and they're so shitty. They have the lowest chance of crushing blow that you could possibly get. So that's a bit of a shame. And they just weren't. It wasn't worth 5 extra crushing blow to get to lose the laying of hands and the resistances. So screw this shit. And then I crafted knockback gloves. I only had to craft 2 pairs to get a pair of IAS ones here, which is crazy. But honestly, the knockback just wasn't really that worth it. It just, you know, I really kind of wanted it for just bail running, especially the minions of destruction. But we just didn't need it. We just didn't need it. The laying of hands just helped kill them much more easily. So we went with that. And then kind of the creme de la creme, the piece that pulls it all together, the Ariad's face. This thing is dope. Now, when I found this, I was like, well, shit, now I have to use it. And now my crushing blow is going to be so much worse because I recently found a, where is it? 2-socket giant skull. Fuck yeah, it's kind of dope. And now I don't have anyone to use it on. You know, I was going to use that or a G-face on him, and then what the fuck, an Ariad's face comes along. Actually, this is wild. I wonder if I just found a second one. Who would have thought? I found 2 Ariad's faces. That's just nuts. But damn, this thing is nuts. It gives you so much attack rating. I mean, that's really the big part of it. You can see my attack rating goes up by more than 2,000, or about 2,000, which is huge. Along with the FHR, along with the resistances and the stats, the lifesteal. It's really good. Really, really good. I put an IAS jewel in it, once again, to just help me reach, you know, I think like the 3rd fastest breakpoint when I'm throwing. And then for rings, Cat's Eye. High Lord's probably better. You get the lightning res and the plus skills, as well as the attack speed, as well as deadly strike. But I don't have an extra one around, and I also just kind of enjoy having the faster run walk from this. Like, it's super fun to just, like, run really fucking fast and kite shit. You know, like, run away, throw, you know, throw, run away, throw, run away. Like, it's kind of fun. So yeah, High Lord's probably better. Cat's Eye, really fun. And I was using this on a different character for a while, and then I got something better, so I was just happy to find a home for this again. Ravenfrost, must have. Not a great roll, but none of my Ravenfrosts are really. But the Dex attack rating cannot be frozen and mana are super useful. And then I've got this cool little ring, which gives me a lot of strength, actually gives me decent damage. Lightning res, fire res just helps top me off, as well as the, actually the fire res does not really top me off, but that's okay. I needed the light res more. But 7% lifesteal is pretty nice. Maybe I should find a better ring. I'll find one later. I feel like this ring is pretty good, but maybe I do have better at this point. But I wanted some lifesteal. Would love to have more even, to be totally honest with you. But, you know, I've got 10% between this and the area it's face and no mana steal, so that's kind of a shame. Actually, the mana steal I have on the death bit, but that's the only place, and it's not a lot. So, not great. The reason I pulled this out of my stash, by the way, is I actually have a double set of Lacerator and Flying Knife death bits. Before I was able to up my second death bit, I was using this thing, just because it had 200 quantity and replenish quantity, and decent damage. So you can get away, like, you can beat the game with rare weapons, by all means. It's just not ideal, per se. And I do have 2 bow sticks that I could use, but don't. Just because I don't want to have to go to town and repair shit as much, but I do miss out on about 250 HP because I'm not using those. Ooh, souls! Souls! But yeah, this character sometimes deals with souls well, sometimes does not. You know, if you get a couple hits on them once they're amped, and cursed and all, then they go down super easy. But if they start running away because of the chance to flee, then it's just like impossible to pin them down. So I was looking up symptoms of sinus infections. Turns out your teeth can hurt from a sinus infection, and it's not because it's close to Halloween that my teeth hurt. Pretty sure that's the case, at least. Ooh. Oh, you know, I do have double swing on my left click, by the way, which costs no mana. Very useful. But its damage is pretty abysmal. Hatchet hands. There we go. In any case, I don't try too hard to kill the straggler souls. Look at my level 3. So short. I kind of want to just go see what kind of monsters there are here, just for fun. Oh no. Okay, I got to admit something. These witches, hardest monsters in the game to deal with. Wraiths, you can deal with them. These witches, nah. Souls, you can deal with them. They're not easy. Those witches, not a fucking chance. Them being physical immune is just too devastating. It's too hard to deal with them, even if they're not physical immune. Like, you see this damage? Oh my god. Not enough mana. Fucking shit. You see what I mean? Oh, nice. There we go. Yeah, they just do a ton of damage, and you know, like I said, it's kind of difficult to get the amplify damage proc to stay on some physical immunes. So we just we're content to let those guys be. Ooh, these guys are also really tough. We're fucking running the gamut right now. Holy shit. Oh man, is my Merc gonna survive? No, he's so dead. I'm probably so dead. Holy shit. Wow. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, switching weapons. Switching weapons. God, these guys do so much damage. It's so silly to see them, like, run away, run towards you, run away. Oh, it's so funny. But you can't kill them. You just can't kill them because they have so much physical resistance. Oh, there we go. You gotta get, like, a lucky amp cast on them that doesn't get overridden for a while. All right, let's go get my Merc. Jesus. Those guys seriously are some of the hardest monsters in the game. Oh, what a life to lead. Oh, my brain is about to explode again. Oh my god. Feeling better than yesterday. But, hopefully good enough for tomorrow. But having the War Shrike would be really nice because, not only would it do a ton more damage, I'd actually have a little bit smoother gameplay with it, I think. I would have like a faster attack speed. I think I did the math at one point, and I would actually reach like the second fastest break point, and then Frenzy would help me reach the very fastest. So that would be just kind of nice as well. I would increase my damage output pretty significantly. But I mean, you can see like this guy handles shit. He handles his shit. You know, some monsters not easy, but like they're all the same monsters that every physical build has a tough time dealing with. I do need to go repair all my weapons. But you can see, you know, besides coming back to get the mercenary, I actually have not needed to repair my weapons. And you know, we made it to the throne room, and we're starting to kill Bale. So I imagine I'll probably have to go repair weapons right before we kill Bale himself. But other than that, I mean, it's a pretty smooth gameplay experience from that regard too. You don't have to go back to town all the time. Decrepify, kind of a rough one to deal with, as always. There we go. The mercenaries of barbarians just like are so good. Like battle orders just makes them unstoppable monsters most of the time. There we go. And I hope this guy doesn't die. Let's just toss him a Juve anyways. I usually do try and tank the Hydras on this particular wave a little bit more than I usually do, or might tank with this character in general. Also, I feel like the War Shrike would also make my Leech a little bit better, just because my damage would be better. You can see that sometimes it's hard for me to get my HP back. But, you know, luckily you do have 2,500 HP, so not the worst thing in the world. I mean, from here on out, it's pretty much smooth sailing. I will say, I've wanted to make this build for a really long time. And ever since I saw Kruggers13's video of it. His is really good, by the way, but his is not maybe as budget focused. Not, you know, actually not that mine's super budget. I mean, a lacerator, Ares face, like that's some top tier fucking gear. But you know, his uses a oh shit, whoops, I forgot there was one more wave. His uses a Chains of Honor, and that is outside of my wealth range. That's for sure. So I did have to juve my my mercenary this time around, but honestly, that's not so bad. One juve per Bale run, I'll give him that. I'll give him that. Kruger's Bale kill, by the way, in his video, is so good compared to mine. I don't know how he does it. You know, I just feel like mine takes like fucking 20 hours, and Bale summons his clone, and it's just always really annoying. We swapped weapons again in case you missed that. Damn. He's a little feisty right now. He always summons his clone on ranged characters. That's what I've noticed. Whenever I have a ranged character and I'm trying to fuck with him, always summons the clone. This is actually going pretty well. I've had to use some potions, but going pretty well. There we go. Cryptic Sword? What's this? Oh, I don't have this thing. That's cool. That's my very first find of this. Maybe I'll keep it. Anyways, yep, just a video to tide over my boredom on this sick day. Let's see ways that you can make it more budget. Use a goblin toe. Use crafted gloves. Use just some rare replenish quantity weapons and be prepared to throw them a really long time. Use a G-Face, use a Duress. Just fill your inventory with resistance charms. You know, try and get some heavy crushing blow, especially if your weapons don't have a ton of damage. And then maybe you'll want to spec into Berserk to deal with physical immunes if you don't have the Lacerator. So I always like to budgetify things if I can, just because I know that when I was starting to play this game, after picking it up again a couple of years ago, that I never thought I'd have like literally any of this shit. You know, a Malrune, wild. You know, Gores. I remember my first pair, and I thought I'd never have another one. I still only have like 4 pairs. I mean, they're you know, by no means easy to find. But yeah, cool build. All right.